Welcome to Physics Lab. This is a game where you can create simple or complex 2D physics-based machines or scenes. The cursor can be moved with the left thumbstick. To create our first box, open the Creation menu by pressing X. Then press A to select the Rectangle tool. Now we can drag out a rectangle by pressing and holding the right trigger, which we call the Accept button. Release the right trigger to finalize this box. To make a perfect box, press A to turn on the grid. Keep pressing A for a finer grid and to finally turn the grid off. We'll now create another box. We have now made two boxes. Press B to stop creating boxes. Now press Start to make the physics run. Press Start again to go back to editing this scene.
In this tutorial, you will learn about controls, moving objects around, and how to make a star. First, you will learn how to use the camera. You can move the camera around your scene by moving the right thumbstick. The camera can also be zoomed in and out, using the D-pad. The camera's speed can be toggled by clicking the left thumbstick. This also affects the cursor's speed. We can select an object by pressing Accept, which is the right trigger, while the cursor is hovering over the object. By holding down Control, which is the left trigger, and clicking on another object, we can select multiple objects at the same time. You can grab and move everything you have selected by moving your cursor over a selected object, then holding in Accept, the right trigger, and moving the cursor. You can also tap B at any time to deselect. You can also box select things.
In this tutorial, we'll explore some of the more advanced controls in Physics Lab. First, let's copy an object. Select it and press the right bumper to get a copy. Now, every time you press Accept, you will paste a duplicate down, like a stamp. Let's make 3 stars. You can also drag paste, our favourite. Hold down Accept and move the thumbstick. Let go of Accept to finalize these objects. We can undo certain actions, such as creation, deletion, and pasting. Let's undo with the left bumper to get rid of all our duplicate stars. We can also copy lots of objects at once. Box select the box and the star. Press Copy and paste some down. Press B to stop pasting. Select some boxes and stars. Now if you hold down B until the clock spins all the way, they will be deleted. We can press Undo to bring them back. Now let's make one heavy and bouncy. Select a star and press Edit, which is the Y button. Navigate to Bounce and pull the right trigger to dial this up. Also, navigate to Mass and pull the right trigger to increase this as well. Press B to exit this menu and press Run, which is Start, to see the effect this has.
In this video, you can create and modify springs. Springs have 2 ends, each tying to a different object. Open the Creation menu and select Spring. You can push Accept once on one object and again on another object and you will have created a spring. Or you can press and hold Accept and drag out a spring and release to finalize the spring. You can also move a spring by clicking in the center of the object and dragging it around. If you release the spring over 2 objects, it will reconnect. If you release it over nothing, it will delete. You can even grab spring ends and reposition them to different objects. We can edit a spring by selecting it by opening the Edit menu. Let's make this spring want to be really long. Press B to exit the menu, and let's run it. The cursor has its own spring in running mode. You can click and drag with Accept over an object to throw it around.
In this video, we can change the world itself and finally save our creation. To change the world, press Edit when nothing is selected. Let's turn up the gravity and the world speed. Let's try it. Now let's try a new world type. Open the Edit World menu and change the world type to space. Let's run this again. Try throwing some stuff. Now let's change the world back down to grassy plains and save the game. Navigate to save, press accept. Pick a save slot, there is 10 to pick from. Load is located on the main menu.
In this tutorial, we will learn about the layer system. This affects the way things hit each other. There are 5 different layers. An object can be part of more than one layer. If 2 objects share the same layer, they will collide. If not, they will just go straight past each other. Let's select our star and open the Edit menu. Select the Layers menu. See how all the layers are checked? This star will currently hit everything. Now, let's put the star into only layer 3 and layer 4. Now the star is part of only layers 3 and 4. Now when we run it, see how the star only collides with 3 and 4? 1, 2 and 5, it passes straight through. Layers are great for creating machines and really complex contraptions.
We will now show you pins. These allow you to connect objects together or to the world. Now let's open the Creation menu and select World Pin. Every time you press Accept, you will stick the object beneath your cursor with a pin. Let's see what this does. It can still spin, but it's stuck. You can also use a pair pin to stick a pair of objects to each other. Pair pins cannot stick things together if they share a layer. Move the pair of objects over each other. Now select Pair Pin from the Creation menu. Press Select where you want them to be stuck to each other. Let's see what this does. This can be useful for making things such as wheels and arms. Sometimes you can have a pile of stuff that you don't want to move, but you want a pair of pins to go through a specific point. So just get a pair pin and press Accept Lots. You will see it selecting pairs of objects. Stop when you have the pair you want, and move the cursor away to finalize this. Sometimes you want an object that never ever moves. Just stick it with 2 world pins. An object such as this is called static. It cannot be moved.
In this tutorial, we will learn to change an object's physics properties and then its texture. Now, select your object and open the Edit menu. Now select Edit Gravity. You can make objects static, ignore gravity, or make them float like a helium balloon. We're going to make this float upwards. Let's run this to see what happens. See it's floating? Now we're going to add a texture to an object. Click on your object and then press Edit Texture from the Edit menu. You can change the sliders, which change the colors. You can change the texture, and you can change the transparency of the object. Watch the preview to the right to see what it will look like. Once you've got what you want,
In this tutorial, we will learn how to create motors and add custom controls to them. Motors allow a single object to be rotated by itself. Select the motor from the creation menu and place it anywhere on the star with accept. Run this. You'll see the star begin to roll away. You can delete any motor by dragging it off the object into empty space. Create a circle from the creation menu. Drag it out just like a box. Then, add another motor to it. Select the motor and press Edit. You can increase the torque and the speed to help it carry heavier objects and go faster. You can add custom controls by selecting Add Control. We want to make the right trigger move the motor forwards when held. You can add 2 controls to any motor. Run this. You can now control the circle with the right trigger.
You can add shiny particle effects to any object. This tutorial will show you how. Select our star and open up the Edit menu. Then select Add Particles. Select the style of particles you would like. We're going to use smoke. You can customize the color and amount of particles. There's also a small preview window to the right. Once you have the particle system that you would like, press Finish to add the particle system. Particles will start appearing when you start running the game. Like this. Whee!
In this tutorial, we'll create an object emitter to fire our custom object. To create one, open the Create menu and select the object emitter. Run this straight away to see what they do. Now select the object emitter and press Edit. Here you can change the fire rate, rotation, life, and other variables. Let's try this again to see the change. Now select it again and edit it. Select Add Controller. We will add 2 controls for aiming using the right thumbstick. And we'll add one more control for firing using the A button. Let's try this. Now whenever I press A, I can fire and I can aim with the right thumbstick. These can be removed with the Edit menu and recreated as you like. But object emitters have recoil. This can make them difficult to control. So let's use a world pin to tie this down. To make this object shoot our custom object, press Edit, then press Select Object, and the selection cursor will now appear. Any object that you hover over and press Accept on will be fired from the object emitter. Let's try this.